Welcome to Village Church Connections. I'm David Pavey. I heard a story once about a fellow who was crossing from Detroit via the Ambassador Bridge into Windsor, Ontario, to do some fishing in the Canadian lakes. The customs agent asked him the purpose for his trip. "Fishing," he replied the driver. "I'm going fishing." "Do you have any firearms?" asked the customs agent. "Firearms?" questioned the driver indignantly. "Firearms? I'm going to catch the fish, not shoot them." It seems to me that most people who have traveled widely have stories about customs agents whose work is important and to be respected, but whose questions, methods, and decisions sometimes appear quite arbitrary. A French comedian has a celebrated routine where he repeats facetiously whenever it fits, "And you can tell I'm an intelligent person because I'm a customs agent." Once upon a time, after an overnight flight from the USA, I was held up for the best part of an hour by an eager customs agent at Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris. My practice in such situations is to remain calm and quiet, only speaking to respond to questions, but not offering information, which is counterintuitive for me. Those people make you feel guilty even when you're squeaky clean. Anyway, after a very long time, going through my suitcase and then everything in my wallet, the agent informed me that, being legally resident in France, I was considered French for the purpose of customs, and not entitled to import items that an American tourist could bring into the country without paying customs duty, which I already knew anyway. And then he said, simply, "Passez," and I walked out into the morning sunshine, free at last. But why the hassle? Travel has become so commonplace nowadays that some airports simply order travelers to follow the green arrow if you have nothing to declare. So you do so, not making eye contact with the customs agents who are lined up watching you as you walk by. But you can't do that if you've shipped a container of household items to the States after years of living overseas. That's one reason I love the customs story of my friends and former colleagues, a family of 5 who were moving back to the United States a few years ago. After shipping household items, some furniture and personal effects from France all the way to Atlanta, the wife, I'll call Julie, wrote the following. "Our things from France arrived last week, and I went to clear them through customs. I paid for the shipping to Atlanta, and then someone in the trucking office took me over to customs, explaining to me that customs people are not the easiest to work with. I had already braced myself to have difficulties with them. The customs agent looked as though he had been out in a bar all night and was not having a good day." Julie continued, "Other people in the office were civil and asked questions politely. This man was grim. I had brought receipts and about a 3-inch stack of documents with me, but the customs agent asked first for our passports. His only comment as he looked at the passports was that my hair looks better now than in the passport. I told him the passport photo was taken on a bad hair day. I mean, what do you say to a very dry and grim customs agent who could ruin your day in a heartbeat? He said nothing else, went to the phone, made a call, returned and said, 'Go and pick up your stuff.' No papers to fill out, nothing to sign, nothing to pay, just like that. The man from the warehouse where our shipment was being stored was with me, and he was speechless. I thanked the customs agent and told the other man that I wasn't sure how I would get the items picked up. Overhearing me, the customs agent proceeded to give me the name and the phone number of a delivery man and said I should call him and tell him agent so-and-so had referred me. I did that. And our goods were delivered the following day for a third of what we would normally have had to pay. All of this to say, reported Julie, that it has been a real encouragement to see God's hand at work. Now, the writer to the Hebrews in the Bible wrote, God has said, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you. So we say with confidence, the Lord is my helper. God has promised to be with those who trust Him, but that doesn't guarantee a trouble-free life. Indeed, Jesus informed His disciples that they would face difficult times, but He promised them His presence and His help. And He promises the same to believers today, so that in times of distress we can say, the Lord is my helper. Whatever your challenge today, if you're trusting in Jesus Christ as Savior and Lord, you can count on His presence and experience His help. Take a moment or two to appreciate the Lord as your helper as you work through another day. And thank you for tuning in to Village Church Connections.